Hi guys! I'm in trouble because my Vespa PX does not start anymore. The first part covers my troubleshooting steps to find the culprit. See it first if you have missed it. To see my steps in chronological order, you should now see the link to the first part in the top right corner. All symptoms lead me to the carburetor device. As I did not have a carburetor on hand, I had to save money and then order one. And that is the delivered package. I was a bit worried that the seller could ship it in an inappropriate package. I definitely want a proper package to prevent damage during shipping. But look, the packer has made a decent job. The product package is mechanically fixed by the paper filler inside the shipping package. That is good because mechanical shocks could damage the fragile aluminium casting. So that is how the package of a brand new carburetor from Speco looks like. I never had to order one before. To my knowledge, Speco is the OEM of Delorto, so the quality should be good. It is sealed in a plastic bag. That is good because the bag protects it from the environment. Let's carefully cut it open. And there it is. The marvel of a carburetor. They tied the idle screw to the carburetor. I don't know if this is the smart way to fix it, because it could potentially damage the sealing surface. But I'm not sure if these dents are really caused by it. And in the end, it's not so critical here. But let's start the incoming goods inspection. Okay, it's the right type, an SI2424E. And also the variant code is correct. R583 identifies the used jets and that it is ready for auto loop. The idle jet and the main jet are in place. The throttle slide moves freely. The choke lever works. The fuel banjo looks fine. The idle mixture screw is in place and it looks like it is preset to the correct position. Here you see how the tip of the screw sticks out. The cast marking shows that it was made in 2022. That is good. No new old stock. Okay, quality check passed. I put it back into the bag. And I will save the bag and the package for the old carburetor. Oh look, the label of the package shows that it was packed in July 2022. That correlates to the cast marking. But now I want to swap the carburetor. First, I want to undo the hose clamp to see if I can push down the fuel hose. The fuel valve is closed, of course. But no, that does not work. The fuel hose has aged, so it is too stiff for this kind of movement. So I need to tighten the hose clamp again. Instead, I will undo the fuel banjo. That should be easier. I use a 10mm ring wrench to unscrew it. I previously closed the fuel valve, so there is no fuel spillage. Two hex socket screws hold the carburetor in place. Before I can pull it out, I need to disconnect the throttle and the choke cable. Now it should be possible to pull it out, but no. The two screws prevent any side movement, so I have to pull out the two screws first. I use a pair of tweezers to do it. I need to take care of the ring and spring washer because I urgently need them later on. But now I should be able to pull the carburetor out. And yes, it works fine. Now I need to prepare the new carburetor. And the old gasket needs to be removed too. Look how soaked it is, probably from my previous gasoline pouring. I would like to take the rare opportunity to check if the carburetor box screw is still tight. Yes, it does not move a bit. So my work on the engine in 2018 shows a good quality. I take the new gasket from an engine gasket set. To my experience, I have to tweak the gasket a bit. This ensures that all openings align properly to the engine. Yes, and again, the gasket does not align properly. But it is nothing scissors cannot fix. Let's see how it fits now. You can see that it is not 100% perfect now. But when I cut it along this side here, it should align much better. Yes, that is fine. Now I can unscrew the fuel hose clamp and pull out the fuel banjo. Here it is. Then I can unscrew the fuel banjo of the new carburetor and put it in place. To ensure that the clamp is fully tightened, I finally use a 6mm wrench. This is necessary as the material of the fuel hose has hardened over its 15 years of operation. Now the throttle hook of the carburetor needs to be connected. That is always a bit tricky. No, I'm not able to connect it. The hook does not want to slide into the opening. So I have to demount the carburetor again. When I compare the shape of the hook from the new carb to the hook of the old carb, you see it is different. I use a pair of pliers to bend the hook into shape. Now I can tighten the carb by fastening the two screws. Then the fuel banjo needs to be tightened. Oh, the banjo gasket is not in place. That would never be tight. I better put it in. Okay, now I can tighten the nut gently without excessive force. I will connect the choke cable and the throttle hook. Okay, everything is reconnected, so I can make the next starting attempt. Fingers crossed that the engine starts now. Fuel valve opened, choke pulled, ignition on. Now the fuel needs a few seconds to fill the reservoir of the brand new carburetor. Okay, I think I can push the starter button now. Oh no! That cannot be true! Why the engine still does not want to start? Maybe it helps if I again pour some gasoline into the intake of the engine. But no, it does not help. Help! I really have no clue what is going on here. Was my diagnosis wrong? I was so sure about it, and before swapping the carb, the engine has started when I poured some gasoline into the engine intake. The spark plug connector is in place. Oh man, what could it be? Again, the engine needs compression, fuel and sparks to operate. One or more things must be missing. Maybe the idle mix screw setting is wrong, so wrong that the engine cannot start. I will turn the screw about 1 turn out. No, that does not help. Maybe the jets are of the wrong type or even faulty at delivery. I will check that. The idle screw looks good. The main jet looks also good. I am confused. Okay, I have to return to the start. I will check the spark plug. If the cylinder gets fuel, it must be wet. And yes, it is wet. And I can smell the gasoline on it. I try to dry it a bit. So the cylinder gets fuel. What about sparks? I will check that again. What? No sparks at all? That is not good. I had good sparks before, but there must be a new issue. First, I need to put the spark plug back in. Let's see, maybe the ignition cable has no electrical connection after I have unscrewed it before. I want to have a look on the end of the high voltage cable. Look, the copper could have bent away from the contact of the CDI port. I will cut a tiny bit off to have a fresh connection when screwing it back into the CDI port. For cutting, I use a special pair of pliers which is intended to evenly cut coaxial cables. I now screw the fresh cable end into the CDI port. And remove it again to visually check if the spike contact has made its way correctly into the cable. And yes, that looks good. So I can finally mount it again. Now I want to check if that has fixed the no spark issue. Well, there were some sparks, but they headed towards the top of the spark plug. That is crazy. I better swap it against the fresh spark plug, which is dry, not wet from all the previous starting attempts. By the way, I use WR4CC spark plugs from Bosch or BR7ES from NGK. I was able to buy them for a good price on Amazon. I will put a link into the description if I can find it again. Let's test it with the fresh spark plug. Again, just crazy sparks. Alright, then the CDI is maybe on strike. But first I will put the spark plug back in place. It is not a good idea to let the engine open, exposed to the environment. Now I will examine the CDI again. Oh, the green cable on the CDI is disconnected. This cable supplies the operation voltage to the CDI. Without a supply, the CDI cannot generate any sparks. I might have accidentally disconnected this plug while pulling on the rubber cap to put it in place. Let's see if the engine now starts. But before I can do that, I have to reconnect the spark plug connector. Fuel valve open, ignition on, choke pulled. Yes! The engine started immediately. That is fantastic. What a relief. So my diagnosis was right. But the RPM is a bit high in idle. I need to turn the idle screw a few turns anti-clockwise to reduce it. Ah, that sounds better. And the engine reacts quite good to the throttle commands. I will turn the idle mix group back into the preset setting. The RPM increased a bit, so I reduce it again to a reasonable value with the idle screw. Let's see how the engine reacts when I now close the fuel valve. Okay, the engine dies without increasing the RPM to crazy levels as before. No more lean mixture in idle. So now I can assemble the remaining parts. That was a lot of work. Also the editing of the video footage will be a lot of work. And the latter part I do only for you. Yes, you in front of the screen. I think my work for you is worth at least the value of a coffee to go or a hot snack in a shop for you. Just show your appreciation and make a donation to my channel PayPal account. The address is donatesurfloos@gmx.net. For more details about it, see the end card and the video description for my product links. I hope you feel good. Like, comment, and if you're not already a valued subscriber, you now have the chance to become one. Also check out my playlists to find more interesting videos for tech nerds like you. I will see you next time. Bye bye.